Welcome to the Weekends Over podcast. I'm your host, Alex, here with Taylor. Taylor, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
Here with Max.
What up?
Max. And we're here to talk about this past weekends of sports. We have so much to talk about and so many bets to tell you that Taylor didn't hit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Taylor, let's update the people on our bets and who is hot, who is not.
Well, Alex, I can answer that who's not question for you. It's fucking me. If you faded me this week, can I have some of your money? Because I lost all mine. Um, Anyways, Alex, I'll go through our records. College records, of course. NFL will be Thursday. College wise, the boys, let's see. Alex, an amazing week with just talking about the pick 'em, 7-3. He also went 2-0. He also went he went 1-0 in his locks. He's now 2-0 in his locks. Um, Bringing his overall record to 12-8. Not bad through 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Max down there, not terrible. I believe
See.
Max went 4-6 this week, and I'm sorry, 5-5 this 5-5 this
Sorry,
week,
5-5.
5-5 this week, and that brings his total to 10-10. So Max is not losing you money. I mean, that's good betting.
Steady.
I don't think there's anybody else to talk about. So
Come on, Taylor, let's hear it.
I'm 8-12 overall.
How about this past week?
Well, I won 3, and you can do the math.
Mm.
3-7. Fuck you. Um,
How about y'all's
all my
locks?
quarterbacks got fucking hurt. I mean, it's not on me, really. It's not. It's on those soft ass quarterbacks for not playing. And for
Yeah, tell me about you and Max's locks.
oh well, I lost.
What's
And
your record?
Max, nothing and 2.
What's Max's?
Nothing and 2. He
Oh,
also
okay,
lost.
yeah.
What was my lot? I forget.
James Madison to cover 10 and they lost by 14.
Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't even. I just
Hey, don't worry, brother.
picked
My
one
lock
out of the
was
hat.
Texas. Alex's lock was Army. Sorry about that. And Army,
I can
America.
always count on the
Fantasy War
troops.
Draft Part 3. Stay tuned to the end.
All right, thank you, Taylor.
Anyways, Alex, if you want to take it from here, buddy.
Yeah, so those were our picks for last week. I'm looking pretty good. I'm staying sharp. It's funny. I actually would have done better if I would have stayed to my guns because I did want to pick Georgia the whole time, but I went against myself, so it could have been even better. But hey, 7-3. There's nothing to complain about there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move into our weekend's takeaways. I'll start it off with my first weekend takeaway, and that is that Notre Dame going into Atlanta to play Georgia Tech, a tricky team. You can kind of get caught up in kind of the sleepiness of the atmosphere. Of course, Georgia Tech did not have Haynes King holding the rock for him, but Notre Dame looked good. They looked good. Riley Leonard looked like the best person out there, which is kind of weird. He's really running the rock well. Their defense played well, and also one thing that I think that's really going to benefit them coming into this week is that they play Navy. See you, Taylor, and then playing against Georgia Tech really kind of warms you up for that because they kind of run a similar offense. So I think I think Notre Dame has been playing well, and I think they'll be well prepared for Navy. And yeah, any thoughts, y'all? You have anything to say?
Oh, I'm ready for Notre Dame Navy. I'll talk about that later. I
So
don't got anything.
One of Taylor's sneakies last week, or his lock, I can't remember which one it was Georgia
Uh,
Tech to cover.
yeah, well, that was before Haynes King. I mean, I
Yeah.
texted y'all in our group message, said I'm fucked. To be
Mm-hmm.
fair, I would have not bet. The whole reason I took Georgia Tech to win was because of Haynes King. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. Max, any thoughts on that?
No.
No.
I need someone to score a touchdown. But anyways, no, I did not watch Notre Dame. Didn't even watch the game, so don't listen to me. I willing to bet Notre Dame didn't pass the ball worth shit. But am I right?
but they couldn't. They didn't have a quarterback. But yes,
Who?
they
Notre
could.
Dame?
No, Notre Dame passed it decently, I believe.
Oh,
Really?
I thought you said Georgia Tech. My bad. No, yeah, Notre Dame. It wasn't close.
It was
Yeah. Without a quarterback, it's
Lamar.
going to be tough.
mm-hmm. Okay, my other takeaway is Miami is still questionable. So Miami going to Louisville and playing them in an early game. I believe they ended up winning 52-45, something like that. It's just Cam Ward looked really good, but that defense, I know Louisville's a decent team, but are they a 45 points on you that good? I don't know. I think Miami is gonna fall into it eventually. They're sneaking out all these close wins. Their offense looks good, but I just think if you play all these close games, eventually it's gonna bite you in the ass, and it's gonna happen. Someone's gonna sneak up on them, and someone possibly this week might make them eat some dog shit. So we'll have to see about that game. So
You know, you know who Miami reminds me of?
uh,
LSU last year.
yes, I 100% agree.
I mean, that's just going to be their downfall. I mean, they haven't played as hard of a schedule because LSU already had losses at this point, but like
Hmm.
they were fun to watch because now Jaden Daniels is not as like I don't know. He didn't make the same like dumb decisions Cam Ward made. He didn't he but like yeah, they remind me a lot of them from last
Hmm.
year. That's all I have on that.
What do you think, Max? What do you think about Miami? You think Florida State might make them eat some dog shit later this week?
No. Um, yeah, their offense is pretty high flying. Their defense seems like they suck. I actually picked Louisville to win for a little bit there. I was thinking might be right, but offense too good, Cam Ward too good. They'll
Cam
get beat
Ward,
by Clemson.
yeah. So Cam Ward threw for 319 yards and 4 touchdowns. Pretty good game. I want to say he also had a rushing touchdown. I could be wrong,
He
but
did.
he did.
Yeah. Yeah, they just like I was saying, like they remind me of LSU's defense. Like they somewhat have the guys, somewhat have some like front seven, but they're back
He
because
did
they just
not.
get blown up for explosive plays. I
Yeah.
they won't they
I mean, you look at Louisville's quarterback stats, 342 for 4 touchdowns as well. So they weren't
but I don't think anybody's expecting Louisville's got the same problem Miami has, but the difference is Louisville's not expected to be a playoff team.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I still think Miami's very questionable. Sometimes it's their offense, sometimes it's their defense. One of these days it's going to catch up to them. They're going to have a loss. I still think they're going to make the playoffs most likely, unless like they shit the bed twice, which they could. It could happen, but I still think they're a playoff team. But if I was anyone in the playoffs, that's who I'd want to be matched up against, honestly. Unless Alabama makes it, then I'd want to be matched up against Alabama. But all right, Taylor, go ahead with your first takeaway.
I'm gonna talk about and this is when we get to our cold takes later, I could talk about just about everything I decided. But Texas, oof, they look bad, man. And I don't know if that says more about Georgia. I kind of think it says more about Georgia, but they just Georgia. If Georgia plays defense, I was going to talk about Texas, but I really talk about Georgia more. If Georgia plays defense like that, there's not a team in the country that's going to stay with them.
Mhm.
I don't think that's a hot take. Like if Georgia would have like that's kind of what I think I expected to happen in the Alabama game earlier this year, and it just didn't.
Mhm.
Which to me, that's become one of the biggest head scratchers about how that happened. But Carson Beck still didn't look good. Their offense still didn't look great. They think they had, but their defense, man, is just so fucking good that it doesn't matter. I mean, their defense creates points for them, creates easy situations for their offense. Texas, they got an issue. I don't understand what Sark's doing, taking Quinn Ewers out for 3 possessions to put Arch Manning out there to die. That just hurts everybody's confidence. Um, and good God, what are the officials doing in the third quarter? That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I've never seen somebody make such a bad call and then do something that's even worse back to back. So they make one of the worst defensive pass interferences calls ever. And then when the fans start throwing stuff on the field, instead of penalizing the fans, that some idiot referee looks at the scoreboard, which he's not supposed to go and goes, "Oh, I fucked up. We need to change that." Well, you can't change it. You called it. It's awful. I don't know what y'all think about that, but every single one of those officials should be fired. I'm shocked Kirby didn't like run over somebody with a car, like one of his players' cars.
It's so funny. Kirby talking about that after the game. He was like, "That is so awful. Like they allowed that to happen, and he allows his players to go to the jail every single week. It's kind of hypocritical. Obviously, two different things, but honestly, it kind of inspires me. I'm gonna just start buying tickets to Bama games, and anytime a bad call happens, I'm gonna stand up and shit my pants until they change it. So
That's what
I
Kirby
think it's
said.
pretty inspiring.
Yeah, to go over there and talk shit about that because that was ridiculous.
Hmm.
I mean, what the hell? Like, yeah, you changing the call? Like,
The
if I
fans
was
threw
that,
too much stuff on the field. We're gonna have to overturn the
if I was
call.
Kirby, I would have just started shitting on the field. Like, well, gonna clean it up. We'll change the call back.
Yeah, that is crazy. One thing I will talk about the game though, it's not like Georgia. I mean, their defense played great, but their offense did not play good. They were really like on the back of ETN last night, and so we haven't really seen Georgia have a complete game. They put it all together. This could be the same old Georgia team that we've had for the past couple of years. They've just been kind of waiting to come out. So they could be a big time team in the playoffs. Like Carson Beck last game against Texas, 3 interceptions, 170 something yards. He didn't have his best game, and I mean, on the back of ETN and that defense, they just still dominated the entire game. I mean, it really was never in doubt. Would they go? It was 23-8 at one point, and I mean, I don't think they were scared one bit. But yep. What else, Taylor? What you got?
So does Max have anything he wants to add on Texas, Georgia? Because I'm done.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so let's talk about Auburn, I guess. My God, dude. My God. I mean, somebody came out with like a joke playoff thing where it's like these would be my 12 playoff teams, and his number 5 was a team trailing Auburn by 10 points after 3 quarters. Auburn, that was bad. That was bad. That was actually worse in Oklahoma because we first of all, it's just so Auburn. Like we have our senior wide receiver drop an easy touchdown pass to go up 24-6, which ends the game. Our kicker misses, then goes and misses a 20-yard field goal. Our play calling at the end was so fucking soft, so fucking soft. Playing not to lose, that's how you lose. And it just shows the guys still know how to win. I saw that they got more tight when they were up 17-3 than when they were down 3-0. I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know about Auburn. Like until they win the game, I guess they won't. I don't know if anybody should watch Auburn, Kentucky this week. I saw somebody say they should use that as a form of torture. Um,
It
man,
is
we look awful. I don't. God
it
bless.
was
Please.
Auburning. I mean, y'all played good the entire game. Y'all were kind of dominating, and y'all were making them look bad. And then once that quarter changes to four, it's like y'all like, oh shit, we might win. And then y'all start clamming up, y'all start twitching, y'all start getting anxious, and then y'all just can't play football anymore.
We
It's so
can't
sad
fucking
to see.
tackle. It's in it, we
No,
can't fuck we they had like a 80-yard play that should have been like a 20-yard play because we missed 4 fucking tackles. We had 3 fucking DBs around this guy and they all fucking I don't know, are we point shaving? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Auburn might not win another game this year. And that includes Louisiana Monroe. I just hope our recruiting class stays together. God bless. I mean, I'm so tired of certain guys like Keontae Scott. Get the fuck away from Auburn. I don't ever want to see your fucking jersey number again. You're the same fucker that dropped the punt against Alabama last year that lost us the fucking game. You know, Keontae, that's the frustrating thing about Auburn. And I'll stop because we don't have time. When you would think, oh, they're a young team, so their freshmen make mistakes. No, our freshmen make all the fucking plays. Our seniors are the ones that have the late fucking hits and the missed assignments. I just don't understand. Basketball. God, please.
I mean
Basketball.
we both have basketball schools now, so I completely
Yes.
understand. Max, if you don't have any thoughts on the Auburn game, you can go ahead and move into what you're going to talk about.
I'm gonna talk about Alabama. All you Alabama fans, stop, relax. It's okay. We're basketball school now. Okay, that's just what it is. No, not really. It was a ugly game from both teams. It was just and from the officiating, I thought both sides there were some just calls that were just dumb as hell. Milrow couldn't hit anybody. Had some drops too that didn't help. Tennessee missed guys wide open all game, and it seemed like it was a defensive battle, but no, it was just That's the offense battle. Really is what it was, and then Tennessee made some plays late and won it. But it's not over. A lot of people are, want to freak out and act like, oh my goodness, and heck, even if we do lose 3 games, it's DeBoer's first year. It's okay. He hasn't been here a year yet. That's all.
It was the battle of ass of good teams. It was just who could be less ass. And the one thing besides talking about Milrow, he's struggled recently, but I'm not gonna harp on him because I mean he's one of the reasons, but he's not the reason. The reason that we lost the game was penalties. I mean, just talk about like not being disciplined. And I hate to compare like DeBoer, Saban, blah blah blah. I mean, what it comes down to is our team was just getting penalized so much. Like every time we get something going, we just kill ourselves. We shoot ourselves in the foot. And obviously, Tennessee, bunch of mistakes. They missed some wide open touchdown passes. If they hit those, I mean, we're not even really in the game. I think they had more missed touchdowns than we did. But one thing I will say, like first 2 or 3 drives, we're moving the ball. We are moving the ball, and then what happens? Like what
Those are your
changes?
those are your
We moved,
scripted drives.
we moved the ball pretty well, mostly all. We had a few drives that stalled out, but and early there in the second half, we got the running game going, and we were actually Jam was running the ball well, and but like I said, we would get into a 3rd and 7 or something like that, and Jalen would just completely miss the guy on the sideline, throw it 10 feet over his head, and
Listen, Jalen's not the problem in a way. He's the problem if you're gonna keep trying to make him a pocket passer because he's not. The dude, DeBoer, whoever your offense coordinator is, needs to like when y'all got down to South Carolina and just started running Milrow, rolling him out. Like that's what you should have done. He's not a pocket passer. I mean, he's not. Like Sark, Texas did this last year, right before y'all played Texas, and they said, "Oh, he's not a pocket passer." So then Milrow got all like, "I'm gonna be a pocket passer," and y'all lost. You scored like 14 points. He needs to be rolled out.
24.
He's yeah, he needs to be rolled out. He needs to be rolled out. He needs to be constantly moving these 4 or 5 step drops. I don't understand. The screen pass on 4th and 22 might be one of the worst fucking play calls ever.
I mean,
Ryan Williams has to
kind
block
of,
that
but
guy.
if he makes the block, it's a first down.
It is
Is
a crazy
it?
call.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
okay. So my thing on that is you should just punt it if that was going to be your play call.
But hey, Taylor, I'm gonna disagree with you because I've watched the film, I watched the tape, I grinded the tape, and the thing with Milrow is people are saying, "Oh, he can't read a defense." No, he can. You can watch him go through his progressions. He can read a defense. It's just he's not that accurate of a thrower. I mean, even with some of the screens and stuff that they would throw to the perimeter, they'd be behind the guy, and then that's already over. Like if the ball's not in front of him where he can get momentum going forward, you're not going to gain any yards on the screen. The stuff, some of the stuff over the middle to Ryan Williams, and other players, it's just like they got to jump up and make an amazing catch. He never hits a guy in stride and just keeps running. You haven't seen that from Milrow. And against Georgia, he was on that game. He was on the money, and it's like that's what can happen when he's on the money. But if he's not on, our offense isn't on.
I kind of like this. Go ahead.
I was say it's the short to intermediate throws that he struggled with. He's got a good deep ball. He can sling a ball deep and he can carry it pretty well, let someone run under it. But it's those short to intermediate throws, and especially when the pocket is starting to collapse. I mean, I understand that he isn't like Taylor. I do agree, like he's not your typical pocket passer. I prefer Jalen on a rollout, anyways. But if we are going to make him a pocket passer, he has to be able to step up. He doesn't step up, and he doesn't. He gets flustered then, and that's when he makes those
And
off the
gets,
mark throws.
9 is 10-yard sacks
Mhm.
instead of, rather you get sacked for a yard or two. I mean, or try to escape stepping up instead of running backwards. You're gonna get caught.
Well,
We
you're just
can't.
not. You're just not
Those
going to come. Go ahead.
I was gonna say those. It's the long third downs, those 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s that are killing us. If we can make it a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, then there's the playbook opens up so much with what we can do because we have so many different ways that we can get that. And we can't, like I said before, we can't have those penalties that push us back when we're doing good. We're killing ourselves, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Comes down to a lack of discipline. It comes down to just I mean, I know Tennessee's a tough place to play, so that has to do with it. But we have to be more disciplined. I think we had 15 penalties, 150 yards. I mean, there's not many teams that are going to overcome that deficit.
And there is no reason to be targeting Ryan Williams that much. Like, I'm sorry. Like, listen, he's a great player. But he's a young guy. I mean, you see what happens when he gets tackled. He gets thrown like a ragdoll dummy. You know, like if someone gets hands on him, he's getting tackled. But you know, a lot of the times they don't. He can break free, but you know, they need somebody else other than Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard. They need another guy they can look to, you know, go make a catch or make a play, you know, stop trying to just feed Ryan. I mean, yes, you want to give Ryan Williams looks and give him the ball, but like, I mean, how many targets do you have? 20? I mean, I know he at least had 17. At one point, I remember looking up on the game, he had 17 targets
First
and
quarter,
only
he had
like
I've never seen until the Tennessee game in Tennessee do it. And I don't mean this in a mean way. Like Tennessee almost treated that game like we're gonna be conservative because we know that they're not gonna score enough to like we know we probably need 20 points and we win. Like they did not think y'all were gonna score on their defense.
I don't think they were conservative. They just couldn't hit fucking deep. They threw the ball deep a lot. It just
Okay, now
fucking missed every time.
that's true, but I still cannot figure. Like I was talking to somebody about this. Were those? I mean, those some of those were there by design. I'm just gonna let you know. Not the wide open ones, but like when they're a step, that just tells me that they didn't think he could hit them.
Yeah, true.
Like that, they're telling your DBs to play up and press harder. So of course we're good with you being a step behind because we don't think he can hit them. And you know, ironically, like
And
when
then he
hit
did later in the game. Yeah.
but ironically, that was probably like the one that was most covered. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh
probably
yeah.
his
He was
toughest
on him
throw.
better.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw somebody say Tennessee if Nico was on, they win by 4 scores, and I don't. Well, you can't really. I mean, if Miller was on, then no, they don't. So they both were terrible. They both played
Yeah. They're
awful.
both bad.
It was a bad game. Am I
It
off
was
by saying that?
Ugly
Like, it was
game.
a
it wasn't
bad, ugly
it
game.
wasn't very enjoyable.
Compare it to like the last time y'all played at Tennessee. I know y'all lost. Like,
That
that
was
was a
a
fun game to watch as a neutral person. Like, because I don't like Tennessee either. I don't like their fans. Sorry, but um, they're just obnoxious and they act like they've won, even though they really haven't.
mhm.
But I just,
I
yeah,
just
it wasn't fun to watch. It really was not fun to watch. Like the 2 years ago, that was fun. Even like last year's game was fun to watch. This one not. Like it wasn't like good football being played. It was
uh,
shitty football, shitty special teams, shitty play calling. I don't understand Milrow at the end, but we could probably talk about
You've
it all
seen
day.
that a lot this year. Just just a bunch of teams just bad football, like not good fun. Like a bunch of teams are just undisciplined. You
the
know, and the teams that have the best fundamentals, you know, and aren't, you know, are winning. You know,
Mhm.
I mean,
the
look at
past,
Vandy right now.
the past couple of years, I think we've been spoiled by really good teams, and this year I don't think we really have a really good team. Like I know Oregon's number one, but you tell me, is Oregon that great? No, I think the talent gap has gone down significantly, and that doesn't mean the players aren't that good. I just think there just aren't that many good teams, and that's okay. I think it makes
There's
more.
a dip like
Yeah.
what you consider great and elite last year is
Hmm.
what considered as great or elite this year. I don't necessarily think it's bad. I just think like everything's been brought down a level.
I think it makes for more fun football. Like once we get to the playoffs, I mean, I nothing will really surprise me.
Oh, dude, you just want to be the home team, and
Exactly.
if you're not in the top four, you just want to be a home team. Those first round games are going to be fun.
It's
Hmm.
funny, people act like that, you know, they kind of already can see the playoff picture, how it's shaping. But I promise you, I truly believe there's going to be a 3-loss team to make the playoffs. Uh, I don't know
Old
if,
take.
you know, I think there's going to be one.
I mean,
I, I
with how it's going right now, it could happen. It would depend on the team, though. They'd have to have a very good losses. The team that I could see it, I don't think
Georgia.
it's. It would have to be Georgia. It could be Ohio State, maybe.
It's going to be the third loss is going to be in the conference championship game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like Georgia loses just one more, and I don't really believe in this either. I will not pick it when it happens, but their last big road test is at Ole Miss. It'll be a night game, so maybe some crazy shit happens. But other than that, they play Tennessee at home. I don't see that happening. But just say for sake, they lose to Ole Miss. They make the SEC championship game and they lose to Texas in the rematch. something like that. They're in. You know what I'm saying? 10-3, they're in.
I could definitely see it. We have been spending a little bit of time on this, so we'll go ahead and go to our cold takes. So I'll start it off with cold takes. Tennessee, I apologize. Me being a Bama homer, of course I was going to go with Bama, but I did kind of disrespect y'all saying that in the Spider-Man meme, it's you and Ole Miss pointing at each other. Maybe that's Alabama pointing at Ole Miss now. We do not look good. We are booty cheeks, and y'all clapped them. So congratulations. We just don't look good, and honestly, y'all don't look that much better, but y'all look better than us. So there's my apology.
That's for sure.
What'd you say?
The defense is better than ours. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Their D-line's legit.
yeah. But that's my cold take. Thought we might kill y'all. Didn't happen. Y'all played better than us. If that's saying something, we
In the
didn't play
second
good.
half, at least. Second half, they had 24 points.
Was it 7-0 at halftime, and then it was
7-0
and then
at
it was
halftime.
and then Bama kicked a field goal early, and it was 10-0.
Yep.
Did they get to 10-0?
Yeah.
They got to 10-0, right? Yeah. Okay.
Or it
Okay.
was 7-3, and then we got a field
yeah,
goal.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Taylor.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna keep this one short and sweet. I hope you didn't use my picks. uh, let's see.
Go
I
through the
mean,
list.
fuck, I don't know. I was really wrong on since nobody talked. Did you talk about Nebraska or Indiana?
Nope.
And
Go
Max, you're
ahead.
not talking about Nebraska or Indiana, correct? You're
Max
talking
got it
about.
right.
I know Max. I know who Max is talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Indiana. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you proved me the fuck wrong. I did not. I didn't think y'all had that in you. Indiana is Indiana's got it. Like I looked at
What
their
did you
schedule.
say?
They play Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State. If they can just get to Michigan without losing, beat Michigan. And then they can lose to Ohio State. They will not lose again. My gosh, man. That coach they got, was it Signetti? Was that his name?
Signetti smoking cigs.
Signetti? Yeah, smoking cigs. He's like 60, isn't he?
I don't know, but he said his quote was, "Look me up. All I do is win." And I
I
mean, that's
mean,
all he's doing.
damn. I mean, damn. I don't know. I can't believe I say this, but I'd rather Auburn play Indiana in basketball than I would in football because they'd beat the shit out of us in football. We'd probably beat the shit out of them in basketball. But yeah, I don't know. You could go down my list and make sure you tell me in the comments how stupid I am.
Yeah, Taylor just
Heals me.
apologizes for
Fade
all of
me.
his
We're
picks.
gonna from now on just fade everything I say. That's what they do.
Max.
Cold take was I
Arky.
chose Arkansas money line over LSU, and as did a lot of people, and they got absolutely destroyed.
Cool.
There's other words I want to use for that, but I'm not going to. They got killed. It wasn't close. LSU looked really good. Arkansas looks soft as runny baby shit. So, that's all I got. I was wrong on that, but my prize picks hit. So
There you go. That's all that matters, honestly. One thing I will discuss, like before we get into Heisman odds, is the SEC race. Who's going to be in Atlanta? Who do y'all think it is? Max, go first.
Mississippi State versus Vandy. Nah, at this point, I think it's. I guess it's probably between what 4 teams: Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, LSU. That's what I'm thinking. Two of those four are gonna get in there. But like I said, it could be. I know next week we got LSU, Texas A&M. We'll see what happens there. Still got Alabama, LSU. Still got Texas A&M, Texas. Still got Georgia, Ole Miss.
Texas Vandy this week.
Texas Vandy this week.
Georgia, Ole Miss. Oh, you
And
said
Georgia
that.
still has to play Georgia Tech at the end of the year too. And
That won't matter in the SEC.
I know, but it's still a sneaky game.
Early sneaky pick.
Early sneaky.
Georgia Tech covers. I call
Hayes
it.
King. Yeah, I'm calling it right now.
They played them close last year.
Yeah, I only lost by 8.
So since I'm always wrong, I'm just gonna call my shot. Texas A&M and Georgia.
Okay.
I think that I think the Texas A&M Texas game winner goes to Atlanta, and I think that's in A&M, and I'm going to pick Texas A&M. Georgia is also going. If Georgia plays defense like they did, they will not lose a game or another game this year, playoffs included.
I
They're
think I like that. A&M and Georgia is pretty good. I see A&M. If A&M can beat LSU this weekend, there's
they've got
probably
South Carolina, Auburn, and then
Texas.
yeah, that South Carolina game's going to be a night game in Columbia though. But that's probably their last test if they can get by LSU.
I'm gonna be basic and I'll just take Georgia and Texas rematch. I mean, I feel like
I
that's
almost
most
did that.
likely. That's most likely. So I'll go with that. But yeah, Max, did you want to give like a definite answer? Are you okay with just giving those four and just sign?
Taylor, Texas A&M, Georgia.
Okay. Cool. All right, now we're gonna give a little Heisman odds update. So still front runner, Genty 220 plus 220 right now. Cam Ward second place plus 260. Dylan Gabriel plus 400, and then Cade Klubnik coming up quick plus 1600, followed by Travis Hunter at plus 2200. Me personally, right now, I'm still on Genty plus 220. I think this week against UNLV will be a big game for him. He'll get to play the whole game, which is awesome. Most likely, unless they just start killing them. So I like him. I also like Cam Ward. And if I was going to give someone a little throw in the money, give me Curtis Rourke, Indiana's QB, plus 3,500, undefeated. Can you imagine he starts just, I mean, he's been slinging it recently, but he keeps on going through it. Imagine a big Ohio State win at the end of the year and then a Big Ten championship. I mean, that could be something. I would say that'd be the one I would put money on if I wanted to win a good amount of money. But if I was just going to who I actually think it's going to be, it's between Genty and Cam Ward, even though I hate Cam Ward. Taylor.
So my two, so my one, it's this is tough because I'm gonna explain something why I do this. I'm gonna take Cam Ward this week. If you look at the odds, Genty's odds, I mean, he went from like clear favorite to back around, and I believe Cam Ward went from plus 680 to minus two. What was it? Minus two, whatever.
260. He had a big game this week.
So a lot of money is being thrown on Cam Ward right now. A lot of money is being thrown on Cam Ward. So I'm gonna take Cam Ward, but it's Cam Ward and Genty to the end. Dark horse, if you want to throw some money on it, if LSU can keep winning, Nussmeier at plus 3,000 is not terrible because if they keep winning, it's going to be because of him making throws. But yeah, there are a lot of people are starting to throw money on Cam Ward. If he keeps playing like he did the last 2 weeks, because it's a lot better than it was the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks or whatever. He's gonna win. It might come down to him beating Clemson in the ACC championship game if he could beat them. But I'm gonna go with Cam Ward this week just to mix it up because I've been saying Genty every week. So I have Cam Ward this week, and my sneak is Nussmeier plus 3,000.
Okay. Max, you have anything?
Heisman, he's the best player in the country.
What?
Genty should be the Heisman. He's the best player in the country.
Genty?
Genty?
Yep.
I got you.
Nobody's as consistent as he is. You know, there's been so many names in the Heisman race this year, but the most consistent one has been, and the one who keeps doing crazy stuff is Genty. So if he continues, he's got a good test this week in UNLV.
Mm-hmm.
If he balls out on them, I mean, it's just hard not to give it to him.
Yep, he's on pace to beat Barry Sanders' record. So I agree. I like him.
Did you see his response to Travis Hunter? I thought that was nice.
What did he say?
Well, because Travis has been saying nobody's doing what I'm doing, and he basically just said no. He said Travis is a special player. He's right. He goes, but at the same time, I'm also doing something nobody's doing. I don't know what he's talking about since Barry Sanders. So he goes, I mean, I think he's number one too, but he says I'm right there. It was pretty professional response.
That is a good response.
The exact opposite of what Travis Hunter in professionalism.
I'll give one last update for Taylor. Jackson Dart plus 4,000. How do you feel?
Lay it. Lay your house mortgage on it. Go steal your wife's wedding ring. If you're engaged and you've bought a ring or you're about to get engaged, you hadn't asked her and you got her wedding ring, throw it on there. Trust me. Um,
Taylor
yeah,
hasn't been wrong recently, so
I'm never fucking wrong. And even when I am wrong, it's not because of me. I've never been wrong in my life.
exactly. We'll go ahead and move into our updated 12-team playoffs. Do one of y'all want to go first? Y'all want me to just go ahead and give my 12?
I'll go if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my top 12 changed a lot this week. So I've moved Georgia to number one. I think they're the best team in the country. Nothing against Oregon, but I just think Georgia and Oregon. So Oregon number two, right there. They're going to win the Big Ten. I still have them winning the Big Ten when they beat Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. Uh, Clemson number three, Iowa State number four. Good God, Gus Malzahn. Like, I mean, it really is an experience. The dude dropped a pick six, like going in.
Yeah.
That would have won UCF the game. That's
Hmm.
terrible. Um, I've moved Penn State to five. Um, that might tell you something of what I'm thinking about Penn State, Ohio State in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Um, Texas is six. The only reason I have Texas six and Ohio State seven is just because I know if this was a real rankings, I switched. I have an SEC and Big Ten team, and they'd be matched up if they.
Yeah.
It'd be SEC, SEC. So I switched them around. I actually do think Ohio State should be ahead of Texas right now, but I just switched around for seeding. So Ohio State seven, Miami eight. They're going to lose in the ACC title game. I think that's the only time they lose. Texas A&M still nine. LSU 10, which is why I switched Ohio State to seven. So it wasn't Texas, Ohio. I mean Texas, LSU. Indiana is my jump up team because I had Alabama in that 11th spot. And I told everybody last week, I think if Tennessee won, I was going to jump them up there, but both those teams just didn't impress me. So I took them both out and put Indiana 11. Shout out to the Fighting Cigarettes. Big, big win. And I still have Boise State 12, but I'm very, very getting very close to putting Army there. They look very good.
I like those picks. Indiana, I think, is probably going to make an appearance in everybody's. So, Max, you're up.
Oregon 1, Georgia 2, Clemson 3, BYU 4. Pretty standard.
Mhm.
And then I got Ohio State 5, Texas 6, Penn State 7, Miami 8, Indiana 9, LSU 10, Texas A&M 11, Boise State 12.
I like it.
Okay. Y'all really throw those SEC teams in there. Y'all are about to.
Oh, if it was right now, the playoff is right now,
That's what it would be. And the other thing is, Alex, when we're talking about three lost teams getting in, what do you think of three lost Big 12 or ACC teams getting in? When we say a three lost teams getting in, it's an SEC team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think it's a Big 10 team.
No,
Three
it's
lost
SEC
SEC.
team.
SEC. It's going to be the two loss SEC champion that gets it.
And let's be real,
The three loss because they go to the conference championship game with two losses and they lose.
Alabama,
You
Georgia.
dumb fuck, Alex. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you stupid motherfucker. Anyways.
There you go.
Well, if y'all were just going to wait and hear mine, y'all would see that the problem is what if other teams don't lose 3 games? What if they only have 1 to 2 losses? And this is what's going to happen. The SEC is going to beat up on
They
each
better
other.
have one.
SEC is going to.
They'll take 3 over 2.
3 loss SEC over 2 loss ACC.
I agree with that. I'm not going to have a 2-loss ACC team.
Or Big 12. Or Big 10.
Or Big 12. Or Big 10.
Listen, ready? Oregon 1. Okay.
Okay.
Georgia 2.
Yeah.
Clemson 3. Iowa State 4.
Yeah, standard.
Texas number 5. Texas number 5. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Penn State 6.
Okay. No, it's pretty normal.
Ohio State 7.
We just haven't flipped around, but yeah.
2 teams, 2 lost to Ohio State.
Miami 8. They're only going to lose 1 game.
He's not going to put Texas A&M in. That's what he's not going to do.
BYU 9. BYU ends the year with 1 loss. They lose to undefeated Iowa State. Indiana 10.
Okay, I agree with that.
Tennessee 11.
Go ahead.
Army number 12.
I like the Army thing, but can you tell me how you're gonna sit off screen and agree with me taking Tennessee out and like, yeah, Tennessee's not good either, and then put Tennessee 11, and then
Listen,
sit here and tell me that Big 12 is getting two teams in the playoffs if one of Georgia or Texas loses in the SEC championship game with three losses. A three-loss champion, SEC runner-up gets in over a one-loss Big 12 team
listen. Georgia is going to lose to Tennessee
at home.
at home. They're going to lose, but Tennessee, but Georgia is going to make the SEC title, and then they're going to beat Texas. So there's going to be 3 2-loss SEC teams in the playoffs. There's nothing wrong with that. There's not going to be a 3-loss team.
So you didn't put neither LSU or A&M in?
No.
So you think A&M is? Go ahead, Max.
Who do you think? Who are the 3 SEC teams? Tennessee, Georgia, Texas.
Yeah.
Do you think Texas A&M is going to lose 2 more times this year?
Texas A&M is going to lose this weekend to LSU.
Okay, that's fine. Who does
And
LSU going?
LSU is going to lose to Alabama.
And that's 2 losses. Who else are they losing to?
Who do they play? I don't know.
Oklahoma.
And I can't remember.
Oh, I'll
who
tell you
else.
their schedule right now. You haven't thought this through. One of LSU or Texas A&M is getting in.
Well, I think even if they have 2 losses, I don't think they'll make it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they will. Any 2-loss SEC team's getting in. A 2-loss SEC team over 1-loss BYU, they're getting in.
Yeah.
No.
Texas
Not
A&M.
not if they just lose at the title game.
All right, here you go.
Bama. How
I
about
know what you're
Bama?
gonna say. I know what you're gonna say, Alex. So here we go. So you have them losing to Bama. You have them beating A&M though, correct?
Yep.
They play Florida.
That could be a loss. You're telling me they can't lose to Florida?
I'm just saying. So do you have them losing to Florida?
Is it at Florida?
It's at Florida.
Yeah, give me that one. I'll take that one.
Because then they play Vandy and Oklahoma.
They can lose to Vandy too. So
They play them both at home. The only
don't
road
care.
game they have after A&M is Florida.
Yeah, give me that
Okay.
one.
I mean, whatever.
I think
Whatever.
it sounds good.
One of LSU and A&M's getting in.
Nah.
Max, you got anything on that?
I agree. I agree with you, Taylor. And LSU's getting in unless Alabama beats LSU. And this is the thing, Alex. I was saying if Alabama beats LSU and wins out and BYU loses to Iowa State, they're putting in Alabama over Iowa State.
One loss.
Oh,
One loss in the
he will.
championship
Yes.
game.
Alex
Yes,
will.
we beat
Alex will
Georgia.
put him in. Alex will put him in.
We
Don't
beat
worry.
Georgia, yes.
Alex
BYU
will put him in.
Yes, of course.
I think what's more likely. So I mean, yeah, BYU almost lost last week, so it could happen. I'm just saying. We'll have to see. It'll be close.
Iowa State was the one that almost lost, not BYU.
BYU lost one on the last drive.
Yeah,
that
BYU
Oh, they
almost
both
lost.
almost lost. How about this? One of them, they're both not making it the Big 12 title game undefeated. They're both going to have a loss. It's going to be an elimination game.
I hope so. I mean, I want.
I think that's what I'm saying. Like I get what you're trying to say, but the Big 12, it's not getting a 1-loss difference is not enough to get. I don't care. Alabama especially, but anybody like 2-loss
Yeah.
A&M.
I think
2-loss.
LSU, A&M, the 2 losses, they're getting in over a 1-loss Big 12 team.
Y'all are missing the thing that we really got to hope for. We got to pray on Indiana's downfall because
I don't see it. I just looked at this shit. I do not see it. I mean, Michigan's so bad this year, but I mean, let me look.
Beat Michigan. Their offense, Michigan can't throw the ball forward, and Indiana can, and
All
they're
right.
going to beat Michigan. They might beat them bad.
Let's do a hypothetical real quick and just give our thoughts on the game real quick on Indiana, and then we can be done with this. I know Alex wants to move on. They got game day this week. They host Washington. I think they win that.
they
Yeah.
should win that. It'll be closer than people think. Will Rogers is actually playing good.
They play Michigan State on the road. I think they win that.
Michigan State just beat the shit out of Iowa somehow.
Yeah, good lord. I had to ask Tyler about that one. I was like, what the fuck? I put money on that.
He's an Iowa State fan.
He was happy about it, but don't get me wrong. They play yeah. But then they only play Ohio State on the road. After that, they're done. They play Purdue. But we can move on.
All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to our college picks. I'll start it off with the first one. Syracuse at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is favorite by 6, right, Taylor?
Yes, everything in there is. How it is 6 -6.
-6. Syracuse has Kyle McCord, and he's been slinging it. He's one of the top passing leaders in the country right now. But I kind of like Pittsburgh. They've been playing pretty good. No, actually, give me Syracuse. Give me Syracuse to win outright. I think Kyle McCord is actually going to sling it all over them. Pittsburgh kind of had trouble on defense recently, and I think this will be a spot that just don't think Pittsburgh's going to win out. I know I kind of praised them a couple weeks ago, but as of recently, I kind of had a change of heart. Give me Syracuse cover. No, not cover. Excuse me, money line.
I agree. Syracuse money line. Max.
I'll take Pittsburgh to cover.
Okay.
Pittsburgh cover. That's probably smart, honestly. Okay, next up, Notre Dame versus 25 Navy. I'll pass it to Taylor. I know he's been wanting to talk about this one. So, Taylor, Notre Dame
Dude,
12
this
and a half,
is
52.5 is the over under. So, tell me.
Navy's winning, but for the sake of it, I'm take because I don't want to jump too far. Give me plus 12.5. That's a shit ton of points for a game like this. With how Navy plays, like that's a shit ton of points. Give me Navy plus 12.5.
Max?
The Navy bullshit ends this weekend.
Oh,
And then the Army bullshit ends soon in a couple of weeks as well. Notre Dame's gonna beat the shit out of Navy. They're not overlooking these little fucks. These little guys, they're not college athletes. I mean, they, they're they're good high school players and excellent soldiers, but they're not college football players. Yeah, they can run a good offense. They can execute well and run some things nice, but if they're not, overlooked, they have no shot, and they're not going to be overlooked this week. Notre Dame knows they've lost to Northern Illinois. They're not overlooking Navy. They're gonna blow them out.
So you have Notre Dame covering?
Yep.
So I like Navy, but I think the problem is that Notre Dame just played Georgia Tech, and I think that gives them a big advantage, kind of seeing the offense a week before. I will say the Demon Seaman Navy, they're gonna cover. I like the way that they play on offense. It's really like keep the ball away, and I think they'll do that enough to cover. They do have a decent offense, so I'll have Navy cover. That's what I feel. Washington versus Indiana. I'm not going to spend much time on this game. Indiana just beat the ever loving dog piss out of Nebraska. So I think Nebraska and Washington are probably pretty close to being on the same level. Indiana's at home -6.5. I think that's an easy Indiana cover. I mean, there's nothing really to say here. What do
me
y'all
too.
think?
Me too.
Indiana cover.
Me too.
Signetti will keep on smoking the cigs, and I can't wait to see him play like a really good team. I think they kind of have they like had a good game yet? Like
Nebraska's
not
their best win.
Nebraska's their best win, so we are kind of pumping them up. Not that it will be because Michigan's bad, but I am
But
interested
they
in play.
have killed everybody.
They've killed it.
They've killed everybody.
I would like to see them play Michigan's defense. Michigan won't score, so it won't matter. But I would like to see what they do against Michigan's defense right before they play Ohio State.
That'll be a good tell.
And I guess Michigan State too, because fuck.
Yeah, true. Next up, Oklahoma versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 21, 48.5 over under plus 800. Give me Ole Miss to run the score up. They have to. If they want any chance, they're going to have to score a lot of points. And Lane Kiffin likes doing that anyway. So I have Ole Miss covering. Oklahoma just got destroyed by South Carolina. Their team is on life support right now. It is all over. They died. Taylor, what you think?
Give me Oklahoma to cover. This is a trap line. It's too big. Oklahoma's defense is legit. They did, like I was telling Alex about this, and I won't get into it, but that line, that 32 whatever, a lot of that was pick sixes and stuff. Like it wasn't that bad. South Carolina can do that to you. Ole Miss has not scored on a good defense yet. They will win, but I'm by 20, not by 3 touchdowns. Give me Oklahoma.
Okay, Max.
Give me Ole Miss cover. I don't like it. It's too big, but I don't like Oklahoma either. They suck. So take
They
Ole
are going to
Miss.
start Jackson Arnold, not the other guy.
Yeah, no,
Don't matter.
yeah.
I just was adding that in there. He's
Uh-huh.
more of a thrower than the other guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, Illinois versus Oregon. Max, I'll let you have first. Oregon is favored by 25 points against 20 ranked Illinois.
Give me Illinois cover. I think Oregon wins, but I think Illinois is a pretty good team. They have a good defense and they play ball control. I don't think they're gonna let Oregon have that many possessions. Yeah, I like Illinois to cover.
Mm-hmm. Taylor?
Lamar Jackson just saved me on a rushing bet because he took an intentional grounding instead of a 40-yard loss on a bad snap, by the way. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois plus 25. Yeah, that's way too much. I don't understand that line at all. That
Mm-hmm.
that made it too easy. I wish it was a little bit lower, like 13 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I also have Illinois covering. I mean, like Taylor just said, 25 points. It's crazy. Illinois has a decent defense. They played Penn State on the road. So going into Oregon, I actually think Penn State probably has a better home atmosphere than Oregon. That could be a hot take. I don't think so.
They're both pretty good, but I mean, Penn State, that was their wideout game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
He
oh,
was
he was
down, Taylor.
fucking down, motherfucker. You stupid fucker.
But yeah, I definitely think Illinois covers this. Too big. 25 points is a lot.
Love a 16.
BYU versus UCF. Plus 1.5 for UCF. UCF did just play. Who was it they played close? They almost beat. It was Iowa State, and
Mm-hmm. No.
yes,
UCF, yeah, they dropped.
yeah.
They had a pick six. It's a Gus Malzahn experience. Lose to a team you should, and then almost beat a team you shouldn't, and then you wonder why couldn't you just play like that against all the other shitty teams you play.
Yeah, I had BYU. I think plus 1.5. I mean, minus 1.5. I think that's pretty easy. So BYU.
Oh, yeah.
BYU.
Yeah, I think that was pretty clear cut. This is a fun one to me. Texas at 25 Vandy, coming from an Alabama fan. Max, tell us what you think. It's plus 18.5. Over under is 53.5.
Give me Vandy cover. I think Texas wins, but and Vandy, the way they play, they just eat clock in possession, and I think they'll keep it away from Texas. I think Texas is too explosive on offense, though. But I think Vandy could cover.
Taylor?
I think this is one of those lines where they throw out a big number and they want you to take Vandy. But they're like almost trapping you into take Vandy. Give me Texas minus 18.5. They're gonna come out pissed off. They win by 3 touchdowns. 42-21, something like that. I understand what you're saying, but like this is not a good matchup for Vandy. Like it's not athletically.
Or they win 38-21.
I mean, that's fine. I get what you're saying. It's a big number, but I'm gonna call my shot here and say Texas just absolutely dog walks them.
Mm.
And
I
Auburn's beating Vandy.
Good luck. This is one of those trick ones. I definitely agree with you. 18.5. I know what Vandy can do. If they get that offense going, they just keep Texas off the field. It could happen, but I do agree with Taylor. I think this matchup is just not good for Vandy because I do think that Texas has a good defense. I will say they did give up a lot of rushing yards and touchdowns to EDN last week. So Vandy can kind of do some of those plays that they were doing against us. That could be it, but I think Texas has a better defense than
They
Alabama.
this is that thing. If Texas wouldn't have lost to Georgia, then I would have absolutely taken Vandy, which is it. This is the line they were going to throw out either way, but it doesn't like it's a trap line. Like they want money to come in on Vandy so they can lower it on Saturday and get it to 13 and so people hammer Texas. Vegas always makes money.
I will say, don't forget Pavia. He's still QB.
He's hurt.
Is he?
Like he's got a bad ankle. I know he was very limited against Ball State.
No, that's not going to stop him. Texas covers. Texas covers. All right, here's
You want that game?
What'd you say?
What?
Huh?
Alabama versus Missouri. Alabama favored 13.5. Oh my God. Oh,
It's
Missouri covers. I'll go Missouri covers. They didn't look good. We still don't look good. Brady Cook was a dog for coming back from the hospital to come beat Auburn. Shout out to him for that. But
fuck you.
uh, Missouri covers. That's all I can say. We until Alabama shows me something else, every team against us is going to cover.
Me too. Missouri.
Missouri, I'm not betting Alabama to beat anybody by 2 touchdowns right now, so Missouri covers.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is I think going to be the best game of the week right here. Is LSU at Texas A&M. Taylor, I want you to go ahead and get it started. A&M covered by favored by 2.5.
Give me Texas A&M minus 2.5. I think this is a tough one for LSU to win. I've been high on LSU, but I'm high on both of them. I have A&M going to the SEC title game, so you know how I feel on this. Texas A&M minus 2.5. It's game of the week though. Too bad I'll be watching Auburn versus fucking Kentucky during it.
I like Texas A&M minus 10.5 as well. I think Texas A&M's defense is one of the better ones in the country. I think LSU's offense has looked good lately, but they're going into a hostile environment against a really good defense, and A&M's been able to run the ball really well lately. So I'm gonna go A&M cover.
What's LSU's quarterback name?
Nut
Nussmeyer.
Nutmeyer.
Nut
Nuss.
in him Meyer.
Oh, so Weigman versus Nussmeyer. I do think LSU has the significant quarterback advantage. Obviously, I mean I know Weigman's been playing better, but I still think Nussmeyer is a much better quarterback. I know going to A&M is a tough place to play. What time is this being played at?
Night.
Night game. Whew, this gonna be jumping there. Man, can Brian Kelly get a big win like this? I know A&M's been playing good, and it's hard to buy in to either of these teams. Honestly, I think both of them will eventually just fall off. So I don't really, not really too confident in either of them. But give me LSU.
Yeah.
Give me LSU. I think they'll win. Give me LSU money line.
Oh.
Money line. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for me to say cover 2.5. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Okay, Taylor, you kick off Auburn versus Kentucky. Kentucky favored by 2.5.
I mean, they should use this to torture like war criminals. Like make them watch this game. Oh, I'm gonna regret this. Give me Auburn money line. I mean,
I respect
God
it.
bless, God bless. They got to win one of these, right? Like they are. Hey, you know that chart that comes out and it's like, did you win as much as you thought you're gonna win? Auburn in 4 of their 5 losses has always been expected to win. Actually, the outcome. Give me Auburn because I think it's gonna look like the first 3 quarters because Missouri didn't start looking like that until their starting quarterback came back in. I mean, Kentucky doesn't have a Brady Cook, so. Give me Auburn in a very ugly fucking game, like 10-6, 13-9.
We
But I'm
take the
taking off.
under. We take the under in this game.
What did I put?
It's 42.5. I mean,
Oh my God, that's an NFL like over under. Good God. I don't know. Yeah, give me the under.
all right,
Give me the under and give me Auburn money line. Fuck it.
all right, Max.
Over there at home. I'd say they're probably similar teams. Pretty good defense, trash offense, but I'm gonna give it to Kentucky since they're at home.
You're gonna take him to cover the 3 or what? Is it 3.5? Or
Two
is
and
it
a
two?
half.
2.5. It started at 3.5 and it's already down.
I'll take Kentucky as well. Defense gonna win them the game. Auburn offense. I'm sorry, y'all just aren't good. And the main thing reason I'm picking Kentucky is eventually it'll turn to the fourth quarter.
I was gonna say,
If
do
you could
y'all
stop the
say
game at
you're taking
third quarter,
Kentucky? Do y'all expect? But you expect Auburn to be up after the 3rd quarter, correct?
Oh yeah.
Like they've been up in every game going in the 3rd quarter except for Arkansas.
I would think if they're not up, it's like a one possession at least, and then
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
shit all over
I
themselves.
don't think anybody's winning by more than 2 scores because I don't know how many scores are going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is just a pathetic game, but go ahead and move on. I mean, God
Hmm.
bless. Put me to sleep.
Give me Thorne 2 interceptions at least.
Can I take him out personally?
Last game that we have right here is Cincy versus Colorado. -4.5. Colorado is favored. Max, I want you to kick it off.
We got. I'm gonna go Colorado cover.
Colorado cover.
Yep. I think I must. They're better.
Me too.
Taylor?
Me too. Colorado -4.5.
Yeah, I like Colorado to cover as well. I do think Cincy is actually good. I think they're 5-2 or something like that. So watch out for
Yeah.
them. They're definitely a sneaky team. So
This is a game because like Cincy's like super by the numbers and they play smart football. So if Colorado comes out here and plays stupid, they could absolutely lose.
Colorado looked really good last week against Arizona. Kind
That
of surprising.
they did. I'm just saying
Without
like
Travis Hunter too.
if they come out there and play like they did against like North Dakota State early on in the year, they'll lose. Or
Mhm.
like
Yeah. I do have a last add-in pick. So last week we made some bets, and Max is actually about to get started on this one. Max, where is the Subway shit sandwich?
It was really good.
Oh, you already ate it?
Mm.
did you put
Okay.
mayonnaise on it?
Me
Uh,
too stuff.
Taylor, how was jelking?
I'm still doing it right now on the podcast.
It didn't work,
Okay.
did it?
If you see me look down, that's why.
Oh goodness. And yeah, y'all can expect my Kamala Harris endorsement video coming soon. I'll go ahead and get started on what I will do if. Actually, we're gonna have to change it from Florida State losing to winning. So I'm gonna change this to what we will do if Florida State wins. So if they beat Miami this week, if Florida State beats Miami this week, I will host a Diddy party. Taylor,
If Florida State wins this week,
yeah, if
I
they win.
will come to said Diddy party and bring the baby oil and jelk with it. Well, I'll start a circle of jelkers.
Taylor will be the prime contestant in the freak off.
The prime minister.
Max,
If Florida State wins this week, they'll unveil CIA files involving JFK.
Oh God,
oh,
Max
goodness.
just got executed.
Okay, that's those are all the picks for this week. We're gonna go into some sneaky picks for this week that we think would be good to throw in any parlay if you just want to throw money on it. I'm gonna give y'all my first one. I have Virginia -5. Hold on a second. I had who they were playing right here. Let me get to it. 1 second. Virginia plays North Carolina -5. North Carolina is awful. Virginia did come back and have that backdoor cover against Clemson last week, sadly. But Virginia has a decent team this year, and North Carolina is not good. Y'all obviously saw the James Madison game beforehand where they allowed 50 points in the first half. This is at Virginia as well, so I think they cover -5 pretty fairly. Max, who's yours?
We're doing sneakies.
Sneakies.
My sneaky of the week is Boston College +7 over Louisville.
I do like
You
that
know,
cover.
I could see Louisville winning, but I think they're both about the same talent team. But you know, that Louisville lost a tough game against Miami last week, high scoring, emotional game. Maybe they have another let down this week.
Mm-hmm. Taylor?
I saw my sneak. I did one sneak this week, and it's going to be Mississippi State +7 against
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Good God. Um, yeah, I think that's a weird number. And another game like Auburn, Kentucky, I don't know why you'd watch it, but Yep, give me the dogs +7. They've looked good, honestly, for what they have.
Past
Like
couple weeks,
they're
have.
like they that coach has proven that he can probably win there, which means he won't be there that long. Um, yeah, their offenses look good against Georgia and against Texas A&M. And again, they played good against Texas too a couple weeks back, which was Texas. Yeah, so give me Mississippi State. Now Arkansas's quarterback's hurt. And I
Mhm.
think that loss just took all the wind out of the sails. Arkansas, they might still fire Sam Pittman.
One thing I will say for y'all listening to Taylor, he did go 3-7 last week, so just maybe take Arkansas. You know, maybe take Arkansas.
And I would say that Alex really likes to vote for Kamala Harris. He just wanted an excuse to put out that video. So take that for what you will.
This is also true. This is very true. My last little sneaky. It's not really a sneaky because we kind of all stated it earlier, but Illinois covers 25 points to get Oregon. I mean, that's a lot. Obviously, the line's going to change. We do this podcast every Monday, so it's going to be different. I'll say, look at it. If it's still around that number, I would say anywhere to 21, 21 and a half, take Illinois. But right now it's at 25. That's an easy Illinois cover. All right. That's all our picks. That's our sneakies. We only have one more thing to get into, and it's not football. It's going to be me talking about some NBA. NBA starts tomorrow with the Knicks at the.
Looks of the week.
We're gonna do that
Locks.
after.
We'll do locks last, I guess.
Oh,
But I've already fallen asleep from because he's talking about NBA is going to start jerking off LeBron.
yeah.
So hold on a second.
Can we talk about how LeBron? Can we talk about how LeBron's acting like that dad at a little league game when in preseason, like he's sitting over there drinking on the sidelines and he's getting involved on all of Bronny's like flagrant fouls and trying to tell the ref why it wasn't a foul. Like, shut the fuck up.
I think
Hey,
LeBron.
man.
Fuck you,
Oh
LeBron.
yeah. Shut the fuck up, LeBron.
The Fuck You LeBron James podcast.
I'll kick your ass.
Me and Max are starting a podcast called the Fuck You LeBron James podcast.
Yeah. LeBron James is Diddy.
And Alex is starting a podcast that I want to fuck LeBron James.
Alex, how do you feel that LeBron James was at all of Diddy's parties?
That's why he wants to go.
He was trying to defend the women there and protect them.
By I don't know if that's how you defend.
That's what was happening, I promise.
Is it true that you went to a Diddy party with LeBron there?
I was there, perhaps.
Did he stick it in your butt?
He did not. He's respectable. He would take me out to dinner before he did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and besides, talking about him defending his son during the games, I think that's him being a good dad, and I think he should be my dad.
Yeah, his son used to train at Epstein Island.
I was not aware.
Yeah, Epstein Island.
They have a great basketball court there.
Anyways, let's talk about the NBA.
I heard that LeBron's on those JFK files that Max might release too.
LeBron was the
He
shooter.
was involved in 1960 JFK.
Yeah.
Anyways, NBA starts tomorrow. Knicks, Celtics, and then the Timberwolves at the Lakers. I normally don't do this, but I have a prize picks that y'all can do for the games tomorrow. I think these are pretty good, and I think they will hit. So let me give you my first one. So obviously Max talked about it last week. Anthony Edwards free square for 0.5 points. Give me Anthony Davis over 25 with Derek White over 14.5 points. Josh Hart over 9.5 points. Peyton Pritchard under 8.5, and Rudy Gobert under 13 points. You can throw that in there. That'd be a lot of. You don't have to do all of them, of course, but I think those were all going to hit. And lastly, for the NBA, I'm just going to give y'all my teams for each division on who I think the best teams are. So we'll start in the West. Nuggets. Nuggets are going to be there. Give me the Thunder. The Thunder are young, but they were good last year, and they're only going to keep on getting better. I don't know if this is the year. It could be next year when they're really good, but watch out for them this year. Also, of course, the Mavericks. The Mavericks made it really far last year. They were in the championship game. They got Clay, so I think they only are going to be better. And I think this year, I actually have Luka Doncic winning his first MVP trophy, so I think that will do well. Also, I'll add another team in there. Obviously, the Timberwolves with Anthony Davis. They got rid of Cat. They added DiVincenzo. Cat's really soft. I don't think they really need him that much, and I think DiVincenzo adds a good wing out there and a good shooter for him that they need, and I think that will benefit them a lot. Next, we'll get to the East, and obviously, Celtics. Celtics are going to be there. They're the favorite to win it all. I am a person that believes Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. He is more consistent. Jason Tatum was horrible in the Olympics. Call him Mr. Benchwarmer, just like me back in the day. But he was awful. Could not shoot. Could not do anything. Jaylen Brown's much better. Kristaps over there helps them hold things down. And then also the biggest underdog for them, the biggest person I think they need the most is Derek White. Super, super underrated. I love the way that he plays and just the dimension that he brings on the ball, off the ball, both sides, defense, offense is great. Also, next up, I'm kind of flying through these. I know most of y'all probably don't care too much about basketball, but the Bucks, Giannis and D. Lillard, Dame time. Giannis hurt last year in the playoffs, didn't get to do too much, but I think if they can put some pieces together, figure out how they play best together, I think they can be dark horses. Lastly,
The
the
Atlanta
70s.
Hawks.
No, 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 not Atlanta
Let's
Hawks.
go Hawks, baby.
They are
Fuck
not.
you.
They are not
I'm
involved in this.
bandwagon and go follow LeBron James around like a fuck boy, like you are. I stick with my team.
LeBron is my
Fuck
team.
boy.
I'm Team LeBron.
That's
But hey, I didn't even. I wasn't even talking about the Lakers. I didn't even include them in this, Taylor. So how about you shut up? I don't think the Lakers are going to win the championship next year. As much
and
as
you're
I
gonna
want
cry
them to.
about it.
I'm kind of used to it not happening anymore. So I just want good stats now. But lastly, the 76ers. I only include them just because I want to talk a little bit about Joel Embiid, the process. He officially stated that he doesn't think he's going to play any more back-to-back games anymore. What the biggest little like
Can we
so
discuss what injury do we think Joel Embiid will have this year? I'm going bruised cervix.
vaginitis is what I heard, Max.
Mhm. Where it's hard to say if he's being a little bit. I mean, yes, he is, but like he is like 7 foot. He probably could have a bunch of issues going on, but it's like, dude, if that's the case, you've made so much money, just retire, bro. Like it's really not, I don't know many teams that would be like, okay, you can play on our team, but you can't play in consecutive games. Like, we won't, we're okay with that. Not many teams are going to be okay with that. You know, if that's the case, if he feels like that's the only way that he can continue to play, then he should probably just retire because if you can't play back to back games, you're done, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
dude,
over. Like,
he's a part-time basketball player.
It's
yeah.
sad, and plus the way that he plays anyway. Like y'all call LeBron a flopper, which he does flop, but if you watch Joel Embiid, it is 10 times worse. I mean, he's a dominant player, but he is a free throw merchant, and he is someone that will just fall down and flop so bad. Last team I'll give in the East will be the Heat. Jimmy Butler is always a person to watch. It'll depend on like playoffs wise because I know they usually make a run in the playoffs. So that's pretty good. But those are my NBA. I'm kind of done talking about it. Also, I think LeBron goes under tomorrow night. I don't know what his stats are, but he typically every single first game of the season he actually goes under. And I would look at Dalton Connects over points if that is. I don't know what they are, but he's had a really really good preseason, and I like him a lot to get some 6-man minutes. But all right, let's go into our locks of the week.
One quick baseball thing. Yankees Dodgers World Series starts Friday. The Dodgers should win that. They've proved me wrong in these playoffs. But yeah, Yankees Dodgers. I mean, that's better than the Mets or the Phillies. So whatever. That's all we'll talk about on baseball. But Yankees Dodgers should be a big number TV wise. Soto, Judge, Tani, Freeman. So yeah, locks of the week, and we'll get out of here.
Yep, Max, I'll let you start it off. What's your lock of the week for college football?
Of the week is Boise State covers -2.5 versus UNLV. UNLV's got a good team, but Boise State has Ashton Genty, and they're gonna run that shit all over them and beat them by 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Taylor?
You go ahead and go first. I'm changing mine. I just
All
saw something
right.
I like.
I love this one. This one's a little spicy. Give me the FSU cover against Miami. FSU is horrible. They're awful, but I hate Miami. And you know what FSU does typically? They play a close game. I'm not saying they're going to win. I think that'd be pretty cool if they did. But I think they will keep it within 21 points. So that's what's going to happen. That's what we're going with.
Okay. So mine,
Also, hold on. I'm 2-0. I know ball. So listen up. Go with mine.
my lock of the week, and like I mean, I can't really defend anybody talking shit about me today, but I just changed it because it was a game. It was going to be Navy, but I've already picked Navy, so I found something more interesting for y'all. The Louisiana Monroe Warhawks are 5-1. Their only loss this year is to Texas, and Auburn does have to play them this year. I might kill myself actually. Don't somebody, but yes, I might actually.
FBI get involved.
Yeah. They're 5-1, and they're traveling to South Alabama to take on the 3-4 South Alabama Jaguars. UL Monroe's getting 7.5. They are 7.5 point underdogs. I'm not
Ooh,
even going to touch the line. Give me ULM money line plus 250 to win outright. I don't understand
okay.
that at all.
I didn't see that. I would have taken that one if I saw that. South Alabama, they have not begun. I know they had a game where they scored 80 something points against who knows who, but yeah, that's a great find right there.
Yeah, I was looking at the Sunbelt stuff and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't understand that one at all. Yeah, USA minus 7.5.
Mm,
I get it's in South Alabama, but give me
That guy
Monroe
just
money
went for
line.
like 90.
who?
Did he score?
No, he didn't score.
Fuck, I need him to score a touchdown.
Who did?
Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henry.
From like the 5 all the way
Anytime.
down to like the 10.
I have him anytime touchdown and Godwin anytime touchdown. And I think I hit, unless Lamar's rushing down or way down because of that.
I
They
need
threw
But
to
yeah,
Zay Flowers. Oh shit.
I need
but
Derrick
yeah,
Henry to
that
score
I'm done,
touchdowns.
Alex. But I'm actually proud of that lock, like finding that. Like
That's a great one. No,
I think that's a good one. So it'll
mm,
definitely not hit now that I picked it. Sorry, ULM fans.
that's a
Anyways,
really good one. That's it for us. That's our podcast. So
tune
hope
in
y'all.
Friday. I'm
Mhm.
sorry for NFL.
Friday we got our NFL picks. We'll give y'all some parlays to look up. But that's it. The weekend's over. So is the podcast. See y'all later. Like and subscribe.
Peace out.
Bye.